Hi dears, are you ready to study the second chapter? Okay, I am here, you are ready. Then why should we waste our time? We can study the next chapter, that is tissues. What are tissues? Cell, already you learned in the first chapter. It is the cell. Cell is the unit of life. Here the tissues means different cells, group of cells combined to form tissue. It is not a simple group of cells, but they have the same structure, origin and function. Okay, so group of cells having similar origin and function are known as tissues. Okay. Here the tissues can be classified into two. It is plant tissue and animal tissue. Plant tissue and animal tissue. The tissue which is present in the plant tissue. The tissue which is present in the animal, that is animal tissue. Both the tissues are same? No, there are noticeable differences. First thing, plants are fixed. They are not moving. So most of the tissues in plants are supportive in nature. It provides mechanical support. That type of tissues are present in the plants. But here animals are moving. So most of the tissues are living tissues here. Okay. Second difference is based on the growth pattern. Here the plant tissue, these are able to grow throughout their life. But here animal tissues shows growth. Animal tissues can grow only up to a period. Okay. Then the next one, here the growth is localized. The tip region normally grow. It is localized. But here the growth is uniform. Clear these 3 points? Okay. More supportive. Here it is living. Here it is continuously grow. Here only up to a period. Here it is localized. Here it is uniform. Now we can classify the plant tissue into two. So today we can first study plant tissues. Later we can study animal tissue. Okay. Here the plant tissue is divided into two. That is meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue or meristem. You just do one thing. Take one onion bulb and place this in a glass containing water. Okay, just place over it and observe it. After 2-3 days, you can see small roots arising from the base of the onion bulb. Okay, just cut the tip of the roots and keep it there and observe again whether it is growing or not. Otherwise, just remove the tip of a plant, just end the tip, okay, apical region, and observe whether it is growing. Normally, it stops growth there and the lateral branches will arise. That means the growing tissue is present at the tip of root and stem. Such continuously dividing cells are known as meristematic tissue or meristem. So what is a meristem? The cells, the continuously dividing cells present at the growing regions of the plant body like root tip, shoot. Shoot means stem tip like that. Okay, that is known as meristematic tissue or meristem. And what are the different types of growth the plants normally show? They increase the length, increase the width, and the branches also arise. Okay, so based on the position, the meristem can be divided into 3. The meristem or that actively dividing cells present at the tip, apical region. This is known as the apical meristem. the meristem which is present at the side. Okay, this is known as the lateral meristem. And suppose here branches are there. You know, nodes and internodes are there. So the meristem which is present in the internodes, this is known as intercalary meristem. So based on the position, there are three different types of meristems. Which are they? Apical meristem present at the apex, tip. Lateral meristem present at the sides. Okay. And intercalary meristem present at the internode. What is the role of apical meristem? It helps to increase the length of the plant. Okay. Then lateral meristem, these are present on the side, so it helps to increase the width. And intercalary meristem helps in the development of branches. Okay, that is the different types of meristem. So here we can write the classification as, again, meristem is divided into apical, lateral and intercalary. Okay, so these meristematic tissues normally differ from the other mature tissue, because if you just take the tip of a plant, it is very easy for you to pluck it because the cell wall is very thin. So the meristematic tissue, the first character, okay, meristem I am writing here. Meristem, the first character, they have thin cell wall. Okay. Second character, you just take that tip and just squeeze it. You will get some fluid. That means abundant cytoplasm is there, more cytoplasm. Compared to the other mature cells, meristem possesses more cytoplasm. And here you can see a prominent nucleus, bigger nucleus. Okay, prominent nucleus. Then in the first chapter you learn majority part of the cells, plant cell is occupied by the vacuole. But here in the case of meristem, the vacuoles are so small. Okay, small vacuoles. Small vacuoles. These are the major features of meristem, or in this way the meristem differ from the other mature cells. Okay, they have very thin cell wall, they have more cytoplasm, abundant cytoplasm, prominent bigger nucleus at the center and small vacuoles. Okay, that is all about the meristem. Now we can move to the next part. What is that? Permanent tissue. So after attaining maturity, meristematic tissues lost their ability to divide. That division capacity lost, and such tissues are known as permanent tissues. So permanent tissues actually developed from meristem when they lost their ability to divide. And there are two types of permanent tissues, that is simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Which are the two types of permanent tissue? Simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue means it consists of only one type of cells. Don't write only one cell. Okay, one cell we cannot call it as a tissue. Many cells are there, but all the cells are of the same type. That is simple permanent tissue. It consists of only one type of cells. Here complex tissue means it consists of different types of cells. Varieties of cells are there in the complex tissue. This simple tissue is again divided into three. That is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Okay, so simple permanent tissue are of three types: parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Okay, that classification is very important. First we can study parenchyma. It is one of the simple permanent tissues. Okay, here the major characters are, these are circular or oval in shape. It is isodiametric. Okay, the shape may vary, and these are arranged with the intercellular spaces. This is the intercellular space. The cells are not compactly arranged, some space in between. So we can say that parenchyma cells are thin. They have thin wall, thin cell wall. Second, these are circular or polygonal or oval in shape. Next character, these are arranged with intercellular spaces. Okay, and suppose if chlorophyll is present in the parenchyma, then we can call it as chlorenchyma. Parenchyma cells with chlorophyll. You know the function of chlorophyll. It helps in photosynthesis. So this chlorenchyma is also able to perform photosynthesis. Okay. Now, one more type is there. The parenchyma cells with air cavities, that is known as the aerenchyma. These cells you can see in the aquatic plants. It helps the aquatic plants to float. Okay, so chlorenchyma help in photosynthesis, aerenchyma helps in floating the plants, aquatic plants. Okay, that is all parenchyma. The main function, we can write photosynthesis, then floating, then it stores the food, like that. They are very thin. Okay, their cell wall is thin, arranged with intercellular spaces. Now we can move to the next part. What is that? Collenchyma. Don't be confused with collenchyma and chlorenchyma. This is chloren, having chlorophyll. Here it is collenchyma. Here the cells are arranged like this, but their corners are thickened. These corner parts are highly thickened due to the deposition of a chemical. Okay, highly thickened corners they have. That is collenchyma. And many times you may observe when the wind blows, the longer branches of the plants, it bends without breaking, and that flexibility is due to collenchyma. The flexibility of the plant part is due to collenchyma. The corners of the cells are thickened. And here the main function of collenchyma is providing mechanical support, and it also stores food. Now we can move to the third category, that is sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma. These are the dead cells. Okay, here it does not possess any protoplasm, that is dead cells, and very thick. Okay, the walls are highly lignified, highly thickened, and you can see this sclerenchyma in the coconut husk. Okay, observe that it is very thick. That sclerenchyma cells, and it provides mechanical support. The main function of sclerenchyma is mechanical support, because it is not living tissue, living cell, it is dead cell, so it can provide mechanical support. Okay, these are the different types of simple permanent tissue. Clear? Classification, just listen. Tissues, two, that is animal and plant tissue. Then again plant tissue, meristematic and permanent. Then meristematic, apical, lateral, intercalary. Then permanent, simple, complex. Then simple, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Then parenchyma, chlorenchyma and aerenchyma. So this classification is very important. Okay, study like this. in the form of a flow chart. It is easy for you. So the complex permanent tissue we will discuss in the next class. Thank you.